What's up, fish tankers? Cucumber feet back once again with another episode of Fish Tank content after the debut of episode 6 of the Fish Tank on Monday. Twitter users Black Mamba and 2Dank hosted a Twitter space which organically turned into a mini Fish Tank reunion. We had Jet in the house, we had John in the house, we had Sylvia in the house, we had Letty in the house, and we even had Frank Hassel in the house. But when Frank Hassel entered the Twitter space, things went left pretty quickly, to be honest with you. He had some pretty unkind words for Jet and hurled accusations of him being an egomaniac and possibly burning the bridge for his return for season 2. Was it real or were we being trolled? Honestly, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Just a bit of a sidebar here. As I was editing this video, Sam himself had a live stream on his YouTube channel, and Jet did make a small appearance where he did actually make a formal apology for everything I'm about to talk about in this video, which kind of negates the entire video in and of itself. He apologizes to Frank and the fans, etc, etc, etc. It is still unclear if Frank and Jet had some kind of conversation behind the scenes that didn't make up. I'll include the apology at the end, but keep that in mind when I recorded the majority of this, that had not happened yet. So all in all, I think general consensus seems to be that episode 6 was fantastic. I personally loved it. It's exactly what I kind of envisioned the edited version of Fish Tank would be. But after the episode debuted at around 11 p.m.-ish, Black Mamba and 2Dank co-hosted a Twitter space post-show, which I'd recommend checking out. It happens every Monday after the show if you need a little more Fish Tank content. It started off with fans talking about episode 6 and the general positive direction it was going in, and that conversation kind of morphed into what we wanted to see out of season 2.
Yeah, have every
for
clan
1,000
have a
fish
color,
bucks.
like their clan color.
For 1,000 fish bucks, you can get a color in a room. What do you think of that one, Jet? Is that a good idea?
We got
Things up, baby.
something similar to
Oh,
what
wow.
you
It's gonna be a red
said.
room. We're gonna make it a red room.
We got something very similar to what was just suggested. But we're working on it. We're trying to get clan features built out, man.
Jet would go a little deeper on the clan integration.
It's interesting, man.
Yeah.
It's funny because a lot of the ideas being suggested are ideas that we've like that exact one in particular is something we've already tossed around. But that is that's pretty close to what we're gonna do. We're gonna try and have clan features be more. I want like people to take over rooms and want territory. I'm working through the specifics of how that system is going to function.
John 10J would join the space, which isn't super relevant, but I thought it was worth mentioning. It's always nice to hear John.
Hey, what's up? Jet, I have a quick question for you. Do you actually no, I've asked this privately.
Jet would then go into more context about episode 6 and the direction of the show, talking about how he's hired another editor and it just completely changed the mindset, that changed the workflow of the show.
Having 3 editors and a 60-minute runtime made an absolute categorical difference in terms of the pacing and the ability to add detail.
I agree. The idea we were running on is, which was incorrect for the record. The idea we were running on is Fish Tank should be 22 minutes long. It should be standard comedy length. It should be like an episode of The Office. But that's just focusing on one emotion, which is like comedy. It has everything. So it's a bit foolish to squeeze it down into 30 minutes. But by the time that we realized that, we already had episodes in the can. So we made a change halfway through the season to accommodate that. But I mean, I agree with you guys, man. The show's way better when it has room to breathe. Full cuts from here on out for the last half of the season is just going to be like all the footage that's relevant to the story is going to be in there. Whether that's 40 minutes, whether that's an hour and a half, whatever, it'll be there. And then extra as well. We'll just cut up all the bits that didn't make it. It was difficult balancing that at first because like behind the scenes, like we're not talking about it, but we're also like making season 2 right now.
And then also speaks about a possible time frame for season 2. I think it was Sam at one point said December 18th, but that doesn't seem to be the case anymore.
What date are we talking about? Like, when are you guys planning on going live?
Is it not December 16th? That's what we
No, it's not that.
Okay, all right, that's what we thought it was.
It'll be kind of a surprise for most people. Like, you guys are devoted. You'll probably know before others, but...
And it's at this point that Frank Hassel joins the space as well.
We got Frank here.
What up, Frank?
What up?
Sup, Frank?
Yeah.
And in true Frank Hassel spirit, he took this conversation that was in a true, like this positive direction that was kind of a very celebratory conversation and just took it and completely flipped it on its head. Frank brings up many issues he had personally with episode 6 and his content being cut from the episode.
I saw a lot of Frank Hassel stuff was missing from the latest episode.
Like what?
Like everything, I thought. Like all the Airsoft Fatty stuff, me and Sylvia, me and Simon.
I mean, dude, I increased the episode length by like 120%. I don't know what I'm supposed to do past that.
I don't know, bro.
Jet tells him he shouldn't take it personally.
I mean, I'm trying to include. Dude, every episode that releases, I hope you know. I feel like the fact that the Vance skits didn't make it in the last episode like haunts me. Like there's no point at a release where I'm not regretting not including something. So I hope you don't take that personally.
But Frank is really upset about a huge moment from the show being completely cut out. The moment between him and Airsoft Fatty in bedroom 4, where Fatty kind of had like a breakdown. They had like this therapy session. Frank is just generally pissed that it didn't even make it into the extra footage.
Definitely feel a certain kind of way about it.
You feel a certain kind of way about it?
I do.
Why?
I thought it was whack, dude. Those were classic moments on the show. Me talking to Fatty, that was a classic Fish Tank moment, bro. People wanted to see that. It wasn't even in any of the extras or anything either. It was kind of retconned.
To be clear, during this whole back and forth between the two, there's this air that Frank is giving off that there's things that happen behind the scenes that he's unhappy with as well, but he isn't really talking about it directly and is kind of like alluding to these things, dancing around it, if you will. There's one thing that he does reveal a little later on. We'll cover that later, but for the time being, there just seems to be a lot he doesn't really want to mention publicly. One thing he divulges right here, though, is he claims that one of his friends was editing episode 6 and Jet ultimately ended up firing him.
There were people that were paid to edit the episodes and then they were let go.
Did you pay them?
No, I know one of my guys who's done my videos was hired to edit my episode and then he was fired.
Okay.
He frames this point in a way that makes it seem like the reason why the show sucks is because Jet is firing editors, which is fair. Again, episode 1 to 5 weren't home runs. But if I'm trying to like read through the lines here, and this is again just speculation, my guess is probably Frank's friend who was editing the show probably had some kind of like negative interaction with Jet, which led to Jet firing him. Also going to assume that at some point during season 1, Jet had done something to rub Frank the wrong way. So Jet firing his friend was like just more like adding on, dogpiling on to these feelings he already had about Jet. Regardless, Jet seems genuinely blindsided by all this and is confused and is trying to figure out like what Frank's angle is here.
I mean, what do you want me to say? Is this something you can explain to me over DMs or in private, or are you just trying to make a mockery now that you can catch me publicly? What's your plan here?
I'm asking for an explanation.
Things get cut, get over it.
Jet goes on the offensive and says that Frank is being childish about the cut content, which is fair.
Well, man, I'm not gonna like grovel more than I already have. Like the reality is, the community spoke and they told me a problem with the show. And we're trying to like correct that.
That's really good.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, but like coming in here and saying
honestly, bro,
that your footage is missing is like incredibly pouty. It's like stompy. It's like childish.
It's been pretty trash so far.
I mean,
for the
I'd like to see you
$40
edit
that people
something
paid,
better.
bro.
Huh?
People didn't pay $40 to have like 2 edits in a 30-minute episode.
Honestly, what the brand of comedy this crew does, it's extremely hard for me to tell if this is real or this is some kind of pro wrestling storyline they're setting up for Frank's surprise return during season 2. Like, I generally can't tell if I'm being trolled right now.
Are you now the poster boy of the resistance, Frank?
Definitely not. I'm just a fan of giving people what they paid for.
Dude,
if people give me money, I want to deliver a quality product that I'm happy with and that other people will enjoy. You know?
No, you're just echoing like a popular sentiment to be like a
Definitely
conspiracy.
not, bro. Definitely not.
Yeah, you are. That's what you're
I'm
doing.
not.
This would be a weird time to do it because, I mean, the Twitter space, I think it peaked at like 300 listeners. So the idea of doing it for like the most hardcore fans seems insane. But I don't know. I've been trolled by Jet and Sam in the past. So what do you guys think? Jet then defends the decision to leave Frank and Fatty's therapy session out of episode 6.
Yeah, dude, I have nothing to apologize for. I mean, you wanted to be cast as the villain. Am I going to place a scene of you that makes you like, makes everything you do after that point like completely differently? I mean, you've made videos for years like chasing people around with like a GoPro strapped on your head, and you cast yourself as the villain. Am I going to make a narrative choice that reaffirms that? You're upset I didn't include the Fatty thing?
And I think this is another fair point because it doesn't make sense to include that. Like, if Frank is supposed to be the villain, why would you include a scene that completely endears him to the fans? John tries to mediate between the two of them, and it seems like everyone started laughing at one point, which again makes me question, is this even real?
I can tell you what happened. The camera is filming 24/7. You can't fit everything in 30 minutes.
Shut up. Just stop. Just be quiet. Stop talking.
A freeloader can't talk to a contestant that way, Frank. It's not right.
True.
There's a hierarchy you gotta subscribe to.
I'm sorry, John. My bad. My bad.
Frank has a big issue with Jet including so much of the detective bit because it included Jet, kind of alluding to Jet being like egotistical and wanting to include content about him and trying to cut content from other people. He also said the bit sucked, which I disagree with. I thought it was like a bit that kind of perfectly encapsulates the whole Fishtank live watching experience.
Stupid detective wasn't funny, bro. There was like 20 minutes of that crap.
Guess what?
Investigation or whatever. That's not funny, dude. It's not funny. Nobody wants to see that.
Frank, if you want to come edit for me 60 hours a week,
this is not the
you want
Jet
to come edit for
Neptune
me
show.
60 hours a week and make those narrative decisions, be my guest. But you don't. You hire editors.
Yeah, of course.
Okay? All right, then get the out of my face.
To be clear, Jet has left the conversation at this point. He left the Twitter space, and Frank alleges that he tried to have this conversation with Jet in private, but Jet kind of left him on red, and then also teases he's considering not coming back for season 2.
I mean, I've tried to talk to that guy privately. He just doesn't respond. So, like, I don't know. I mean, what is the? Where do you talk to somebody if they don't reply to messages?
So I guess this means no Frank Castle on season 2.
I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. I have no idea.
With Frank speaking more candidly now, he proclaims that Jet cutting his content was more of an egotistical move and less of a creative decision.
The removal of my parts is more spiteful and ego-driven and like personal than necessarily, oh, we just ran out of room or we ran out of time or whatever. You know, definitely more spite-driven and ego-driven, I would say.
And then he reveals one of the reasons that he is very pissed at Jet.
Well, I guess part of my issues stemmed from, there was the prank, and somehow the ended up in my bag of personal stuff. It was dumped in there off camera, not for a bit or anything. So I would say that's where some of my animosity is coming from, is that all my belongings were covered in poop.
This is insane. I can't believe nobody knew about this until like this Twitter space. This is so weird. Now Poopgate is in full effect. Sylvia joins the space, who is clearly drunk. I think she even mentions that. And she's completely like bewildered by what's unfolding.
Hey man.
Yeah, this is some breaking news.
Hey bro.
Yeah.
I ain't put no in your bag. You know, I don't want that. I don't want that in my closet, man.
After accusations of Letty being responsible for Poopgate, for obvious reasons, Sylvia manages to get her to join, and she immediately is acting pretty sus.
Letty, do you have any information on Poopgate?
What? Wait, someone pooped in Frank's bag?
Yeah, that's the discussion we're having here.
Typical Letty.
Frank,
What happened?
Letty, I thought it was you,
I
bro.
haven't been in this space. I don't know what's been going on.
Listen, I don't think she did it, but goddamn, Letty just always seems guilty for everything.
Okay, well, there were like multiple poop things that happened.
Letty, did you put the poop in the bag?
It was Letty.
It literally wasn't me. I was only involved in one of the poop things.
How am I to believe you? Like, how am I to believe you? Because the way you
It's-
sound right now sounds like a guilty person.
Jet then confirms that Letty is guilty.
No, she
It's-
definitely
Guys,
said some shit like that.
guys,
I swear.
insider producer knowledge, Letty did it.
No, I
That's what I said.
didn't.
I said
Thank you,
that.
Jet.
I said
Thank
that.
you, Jet.
I literally didn't do it.
I have conclusive evidence that Letty did it.
Yes.
Can you please post this evidence? It is to the point where this legal. It's not legal.
All right, can you give me like 3 minutes to make something up?
Jet is just fed up with Frank complaining at this point.
It's incredibly
a poll.
selfish to be like, my clip didn't make it in, and I'm sad. It's idiotic. You think Letty hasn't felt that 20 times, wanted to stab me? It's a thing we all like take on. We all accept that we're gonna have cut. That's just the reality. Like from people who were on the show about got cut. That's me hearing like chickens squawk. That's me listening to nature crickets ambience 10 hours on YouTube. That's bug noise. Don't give a
He also brings up a very good point about Poopgate.
I don't know who the bag.
It was
his.
Letty.
No one in the bag. They put his back in his bag that came out of his ass.
So it
am I
was
supposed to give
literally.
a Is anyone supposed to give a about that? Let's be real. It's his feces that came out of his asshole and ended up in his bag, and he's pouting about it. That's insane. Toilet water ended up on Letty's face. Poop ended up in Sylvia's closet. Are they pouting about that? No. Who gives a Hey, you play dirty games, you win dirty prizes. That's just the nature of the fish tank. It's going to end up in your bag.
He played the dirtiest of games.
Frank had left at this point, but with Jet returning, so did he. And then Jet kind of goes off on Frank for not being a team player.
Dump
Did
toilet
you dump
water all over this
coffee
girl's
on all my
head.
stuff?
Yeah, I did. That was why I was paid to be there, right?
Yes, but I mean, you were also paid, assuming that you would be like a team player and not like a opportune starter in a Twitter
I think
space
I was a team
for an
player,
audience
bro.
of like how many people?
I think I was a huge
like
team player.
This is your ante. It's not even that many people. Why is this your like star moment to sling mud? There are people.
Yeah, I'm not on the team though. Am I on the team?
Dude, yeah, you were picked by us to be on the show.
I was picked by the fans to be on the show, bro. Let's be real. They paid for me to be there. Actually, you guys had a Frank Hassel meter that was displayed for how many months?
Like 3/4 of 1 month.
Yeah.
Frank calls Jet one of the gamer words, to which Jet really isn't surprised. He's seen Frank talking smack about him behind the scenes.
I'm not really trying to own you, dude.
Microbial game.
Bag, honestly. I think you're a.
I know, because you said that privately and someone told me.
And Frank's also teasing that there's more that he's not saying about all of this.
Yeah, I know. Do you want to talk about the other stuff that happened in private?
One of the guests tries to calm Frank down and prevent him from burning the bridge for season 2, but Frank doesn't really seem to care and confirms that he will not be returning.
I think that ultimately it was still worthwhile. And
yeah, it was fun. I don't care though. I have no desire to do it again. It was a fun experience, but
okay.
I'm not a fan.
Specifically because he doesn't want to work with Jet.
I think this guy's like an ego-driven, greedy, and I don't want to work with him.
Letty, being the voice of reason, tries to reinstigate the argument between the two.
Wait,
Sure.
guy with yellow profile picture. Personally, I think it was more fun to listen to Frank and Jet go at it.
With no one knowing about Poopgate during the filming of season 1, no one really caught on to this, but one of the hosts managed to post a clip from season 1 of Vance looking really sus, kind of putting him at suspect number 1. This happened earlier in the night.
I don't know. But why? What are you doing, Vance? Wait, what are you trying to do right now? Vance? What are you doing? Did the producers talk about the Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
What do you mean you got the Is that Frank stuff? Vance, you're acting suspicious.
Don't worry.
say about the that Frank took it?
I didn't hear anything about it, honestly. But I know where it ended up.
And Sylvia had been trying to get Vance on the call, who kind of like said he was busy and couldn't make it. But way later on, after pretty much everyone was gone except for the fans and Sylvia, Vance did end up coming on stream and putting a case close on Poopgate.
Vance, welcome to the show.
Hey,
Let's go.
what's good?
Hey, be honest. Did you put the in the bag?
In the bag?
Yeah, did you Frank Castle's bag?
No. I put a bag of in his bag, I'm pretty
Well, that's
sure.
right, yeah. There he is! There it is! Drop a bomb for me, Black Mamba, please.
Was that
bro.
a mystery? Did people not know
Yeah,
that?
he didn't know.
And finally, I will leave you off with Jet's formal apology on the whole matter. I think it's pretty clear now that this was a real situation and there was some kind of tension between Frank and Jet. What that fully was, we'll probably never know. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter. Hopefully, Frank is back for season 2. I think season 2 would just be very different without him. He played a pivotal role in season 1. But without further ado, here is Jet's apology.
Jet, do you want to talk about the thing? You want to sit here?
Yeah, I'll sit here. I have to.
Is this mic plugged in?
Yeah.
Hi.
Bro.
Yeah, I want to apologize for monkey video in the background of my apology.
Yeah.
Guys, I want to apologize for wigging out in the space the other day for all the fish tank heads out there. Apology to Frank and the fans there. No excuse, but guys, it's been crazy, man. I'm stressed the hell out.
Well, I have an excuse. How many cameras were there?
10.
So it's 10 times 6 weeks times 24 hours. There's like hundreds of hours of footage that is just the edit has been overwhelming. So you gotta forgive us. You gotta let us.
Yeah.
There's no you gotta forgive us. It's just we've never done anything with this much footage before, and it's
We're
hard,
sorry, but I mean that's no excuse. People, we have paying customers, so it's not.
I know.
It's not an easy getaway. But yeah,
and
Frank,
I'll
no
also
hard
say
to Frank.
that I know I
apologize.
was there for the decisions, the conversations about decisions, and I know you didn't cut Frank's stuff maliciously.
No,
it wasn't like let's not have this. It was you were trying to maximize the other.
Yeah.
And it's just you can't do it in a 22-minute episode. So
I just want to be more receptive to like people who are on the show if they're bringing up concerns to me. Hear them out better.
Yeah.
I made a mistake. I was acting pretty gay, and I'm very aware. But yeah, man, we're just trying to.
But we're going 12-hour days. We're going hardcore.
Yeah.
And it's tight over here.
Regardless, we got season 2 on the way. Whole new cast of characters, lots of fun to be had. But yeah, man, I'm learning as I'm going. Apologies for being a silly Billy.
That's good though.